Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and welcome to another episode of Rant Time. As you can tell by the title, this is the Kotaku Problem. Now, before I begin, let me tell you right now, I have nothing said against me from the website, but as I've been calling out, people like Konami and even Microsoft and, any company in general, this channel, Some Ordinary Gamers, is kind of an amalgamation of a lot of things, and again, as I always state, the title itself is Some Ordinary Gamers, and it is here for the ordinary gamers. And rant times are basically a point where I make, a couple opinions that I want to, and I talk about things, or rather rant about things that I feel are worth talking about. And a lot of these episodes, in fact most of them, are based around topics that you all send me. Now, ever since I covered my gaming journalism is the reason why I don't look into that, which is something from my opinion. I got a lot of call-outs to a lot of companies, and one of the companies that were mentioned in there that people got right, that I was calling out, was Kotaku. And I'm here to discuss more about it because I kind of have a personal thing with Kotaku as a fellow reader of the website, way back in the day, and I mean way back. You were talking, over a year or something ago. My thing with this website is how blatantly it has deviated. It is how blatant its yellow journalism has become. Now, before I begin, let me tell you right now, I don't think all of Kotaku is bad. Let me tell you right now, I don't hate the site. I don't think it should be fucking defunct or something out of nowhere. They do produce good articles. There are certain editors on there, certain writers, certain staff members that produce really good stuff. But here's the thing. For every 9 articles they make, the fucking only one of them is good. The other 8 are fucking pointless to read. In fact, it's like, it's gotten to such a point where I have to sift through diarrhea shit to find one good diamond in there. And it shouldn't be like that. And the reason I'm calling this one site out, and the reason why I'm talking about it, is because as much as they'd like to claim they're a blog, they're a very, very, very pivotal part in gaming journalism. One of the biggest issues that are currently paramount in gaming journalism is that it's not even fucking taken seriously. Now, as some ordinary gamer, way back in the day when I was a kid, gaming wasn't as big as it was now. Gaming is a phenomenon. It's bigger than movies, it's bigger than music. When video games take top billing in box office, they're a pretty big fucking deal. And we're not talking, just because of casual games or anything. We're talking big budget games, AAA games, games that have bigger budgets than movies. Gaming is not something that nerds used to do. Gaming is not something that people used to look at and say, oh man, here's some nerd in their basement. No. Gaming is something that's bringing people together. It's a universal medium where a lot of people can connect. And this channel right here is a perfect example of it. We have 430,000 plus people on this channel, some ordinary gamers, brought together by one common thing, gaming, and that's it. Everything else is pointless. Gaming has brought people. This channel has spawned communities, sub-communities, communities that I keep hearing about, that keep popping up, where people have found each other because of Some Ordinary Gamers, and that's an amazing thing. And one of the biggest issues about our gaming, hobby, gaming culture, is we don't have any proper representation. And this channel, again, with these rant times, I try to help this as much as I can, at least to get a common sort of voice out there. No matter how many people or how little, people hear it, at least it's a voice for a majority of gamers out there. One of the problems I have with this site is that it does not speak for most gamers out there. In fact, this site is infested by people that have no idea what gaming is about. One such example I have is the TMZ levels that are present in Kotaku. Recently, as I was looking through the sites, most articles I pulled out possessed a high level of TMZ, as I can say. Now, for those of you who don't know what TMZ is a channel or a news group, as they like to call, which basically isn't really giving you any news, except it's just following up on gossip and bullshit that no one really cares about except those that are really bored or brainwashed by TMZ. And that's what Kotaku is. You guys are gaming's TMZ. Whereas you used to have articles that actually had, good gaming editorials, good gaming stuff inside them, now your articles are focused on, for example, let's look at a #1 League of Legends player or a Counter-Strike player or I don't know, whatever, high competitive player. And one of the issues that I have here, one of the big fucking issues is, as a person that does play, high professional, competitive games, I don't, but, speaking for someone that does, whenever they have an off day and they might choose to go off on some kind of media, Kotaku fucking crucifies anyone like that. They not just make one article, they make like 4 or 5, you know, minute after minute on these articles, and it just blows the whole thing out of proportion to the point where it's not even news that is that big. Whereas you could have taken those 5 articles, which granted they generate traffic because as soon as people hear about, you know, some drama going on, they click to that shit just to see what's going on. You could have spent your time actually taking those 4 articles you decided to whore out or whatever and actually make something useful out of it. You know, it's not like I said, you have good staff working at the site, but you never choose to utilize it. So what the fuck? What is going on here? And again, when I'm telling you right now, most of the people working on the site don't know shit about games. A lot of these articles I read nowadays are kind of just half-assed stuff. They're just streamlined, bottom of the barrel shit thrown out there, hastily put together, and just spit in your face. That's what it is. One of the issues with the site that I see, and this is one that Kotaku is fucking infamous for, is inputting the political agenda of the editor into the actual gaming piece. Look, when I come to your site to get gaming news, I don't come there to get my political fix as well. And the idea of politics on Kotaku is very, very, very aimed towards an extremist faction. In fact, it alienates a lot of people coming over there because whereas, you know, you go to a review to cover, say, a game that is an open world criminal sandbox game, I guess you could say, and what happens is half the article inside there is filled with just political bullshit that doesn't really apply to the game. It's just the fucking editors ranting off in the middle of a review. That's not a review. That's not professional. You can't do that, but yet they do it. And you know what? You can't get away with that. Because that's not speaking for the gamer. That's just somebody fucking coming in from like the outside, walking in to just bash us for, or like they consider us all like fucking misogynists or some bullshit like that. That's not true. When you want journalism, Kotaku, you want actual journalism, you know, actual stuff that people go to school for, that people study, an actual craft and an art. You don't do that. You are the TMZ of gaming news. And yet you do it every day. Every day you just do it and get away with it, and you never think twice to yourself, man, can I be at least a little bit, can I have a little bit of integrity in my system? No, that doesn't happen over this fucking website. That never happens. In fact, most of the news over here, and that this is one thing that, again, really pisses me off. In fact, a lot of what it does pisses me off, is there's not even a wide selection of games even being covered here and there. You know, half the time you'll go onto the website, you'll see like the same 3 or 4 games constantly being mentioned. I mean, there's a point where, you know, I mean, I love League of Legends. I've said this a bunch of times. I play the game, I play with my friends. I cannot imagine a website that is dedicated to diverse gaming profile showcase that game almost 90% of the time in articles, whether it be talking about esports or like game updates or something, and half of the news is something that comes out like in a minute, and it's not news, it's just somebody's fucking opinion, and then to clarify that, all they do is update the article later and say, well, we fucked up and whatever, you know. It's stuff like that that doesn't come across very well, and I know I'm going off on a million different tangents here, but there's a lot to say about this site. But the reason I'm so aggravated about it, and the reason why I'm making a video about it too, is because gaming journalism does piss me off. Ordinary gamers out here don't really have a voice anymore, whereas these sites used to be the voices for ordinary gamers. They're not ordinary voices for us anymore. They're not. They're voices for people that have a corporate political bullshit agenda, and whereas they used to care about video games, they used to give us some video gaming news, you know, stuff that like enlighten us with games that are upcoming, you know, awesome new things in video games. It doesn't do that anymore. In fact, it's completely shifted this kind of focus, and most people that are coming from the outside into gaming think that these are like, this is what gaming is all about, when it's really not. And that's what aggravates me, because people that are just coming into this hobby don't actually get the full experience of something. They don't get to hear everything. They just hear these little tiny fucking politically infused chunks of news. You know, there's another site that I look at too called Forbes, and Forbes does gaming articles, and their gaming articles are absolutely pitiful. You know, I was reading a Metal Gear Solid 4 article about the character Quiet, and it just instantly turned me off as soon as I read it, because it's written by somebody that has no idea about any video game. They never touched a video game in their life. They're a video game virgin as far as it seems. But you know what? Forbes I can forgive, because Forbes is a business site. I check Forbes for other things when I'm working in business. I check Kotaku, I check sites like this for my gaming news, and when a major site and most major sites are shifted away from the gaming focus, what do I have left? And the final thing that actually pisses me off too, and I'm going to keep this video a little short and sweet, I'm not going to keep you around for too long, okay? I notice I rant for a really long time, but one of the things that really aggravates me is the fanboyism too. Now, I understand making articles that are appealing to the eye. You know, a lot of people call it clickbait or something like that. I get it. I understand that. You know, there's a certain level where you have to do it, right? If you're a site like Kotaku, you have to. But I can excuse that when the actual article itself is good. You know, that way I'm attracted to it, and when I read it, I'm actually pleasantly surprised because I'm saying, yeah, you know, it's good. I'm glad I read this article. You know, it's a good decision. I mean, I totally agree with how they presented it, but at the end of the day, I'm satisfied. And at times more than satisfied. Is the one big issue, again, is the fanboyism. That was my phone going off. But the fanboyism aspect is something that is still happening to this day, you know, specifically with console gaming. And there are certain consoles out there, you know, for example, the Xbox, which doesn't really have too much in terms of favorable news. You know, a lot of people don't consider it the best console. And whatever you consider as the best console is your choice. That's a whole different video right here. But it seems like every time I go on the site, there's always more pandering to the PlayStation side than the Xbox side. And again, I don't have any like allegiance to one side or the other. I'm not saying this because I'm some secret Xbox fanboy. I actually own all the consoles. I am primarily a PC gamer. I'm a gamer that plays on everything. I play on my Xbox, I play on my PlayStation, I play on my PC. But the thing that aggravates me is that you're already not appealing to the gaming crowd, but you're also isolating. You're also like dogging on, you know, crowds that go to the Xbox side. You shouldn't do that. The meaning of Some Ordinary Gamers here, and one of the things that I run on my channel, the way I do it is I am console neutral. I'm neutral on everything. You know, I don't say that this channel is primarily a PlayStation channel or an Xbox channel or a PC channel. I get gameplay from every different source. You'll notice that. I get it from PC games, I get it from PS4, PS3, Xbox 360, Xbox One. I play games. I'm an ordinary gamer. That's what I do. And for a site that is in gaming journalism, for a site that entrenches itself in that genre, should at least be neutral on the subject. You know, bring gamers together. Don't create articles that creates rifts, or, you know, if you're going to create a gaming article, create a good gaming article. You know, create an article that focuses on gaming, that enlightens your readers. Not something that makes you look like fucking TMZ. So, bottom line, conclusion of the video is this is what I think of the Kotaku Problem. This is a site that is very big, and it, you know, as much as you personally will hate it or love it, it has a place in gaming journalism. When people think of gaming journalism, Kotaku comes to their mind. I used to be a browser of the website. You know, nowadays, the most I'll look in Kotaku is I'll go to the comment section. I'll bring like a batch of popcorn with me because the comment section is just so goddamn lulzy in the Kotaku articles. Like, I'll sit there and like I'll open up the article. I won't even look at what's been written, right? I'll skim through it, but I'll go to the comment section, and everyone over there is just fucking calling Kotaku out on the practices they follow and how, you know, shitty of a site they think it is. So maybe this video, you know, Kotaku editors, if you may watch this or if you don't, hopefully you understand where I'm getting at. You know, if you care at all about gaming, if you care at all about journalism, if you give a fuck about your user base, then please be a little more, please just have some fucking integrity, is all I can say. You know what, there's 3 ways this works. A, you don't give a shit. And most often it'll work that way. B, you'll actually develop some integrity, and you'll make good articles. You'll show what gaming journalism can really be. Or C, you might take this video and consider it a blatant attack, and you may rip me to shreds. I don't give a shit at the end of the day. This is the only video I'll ever make on you guys. I don't really have a fetish for making more and more Kotaku stuff, but I feel like this is something that has to be said. So, from the ordinary gamer community, from people that have no voice, this is the voice that reaches out to you. This is no personal attack. This is just one jaded user's feelings and the feelings of many other jaded users. This is me, Mudahar. And if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Again, I don't hate Kotaku. They can make good articles. They still do. There's some good editors, some good staff behind that team. But, again, it's like trying to find diamond through bubbling shit. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.